So let me pick up on our Bootstrap class project. This is beginning of part 5 I'm about to talk to you about, and this is where we left off. So then make sure we're gonna look at this and before we move forward with this as well with it. So if I was going to look at this from the browser, you should have something looking like this. If I went to live page with it, it looks like this right now. As I was talking about what's container, the dot container class, and the container fluid is the other one with it as well. So this right here is just what we just left off. Is you notice how this thing is a center to the center with it. But here's what I'd like for you to do is we're going to modify this page a little bit. We're going to use the container class with it, and I want to talk to you about, let's just remove the middle part for me. Can you take a look at this right now? I'll tell you what, just take this first section right here. In here you have the container. Let me do this. Let's remove the content of that div tag with it. I'm going to nest a div in a div tag, but this time you're going to have a container, and notice how I'm going to indent in this. This is very, very crucial for you to see, is that I'm going to start a row. All right, so there's going to be a div tag, another div tag, and its class I'm going to set is going to be row. All right, we're going to just have one row, that's it with it. I'm going to close that, and this is what it looks like. So make sure it looks like this. Look at how it's indented in. Inside this row that I have indented in, I'm going to create 3 columns. All right, so this column I'm going to start with another div tag using a class that I'm going to call is call dash small. We're using a small and 4. All right, bear with me with the syntax. I'm going to talk to you about what this means in a second with it. I'm going to close off that div tag. So note the way how this is indented in. Here's your body to body. Inside it has a subset of, or child you can think of. It's indented in is your first one is the container. That's the first thing. The second one that's inside of that one, nested inside of that one, nested inside of that, is called the class is called row. Inside of that one, you're going to nest in the first column. Now, I'm going to use, just as a placeholder with this, I'm just going to call this an H3. And I'm going to call this as column 1. All right. I'm going to come to the right of that closing of that H3, hit P tag and the paragraph tag. And I'm going to say this is content description for column 1. All right, and I'm just going to put a syntax that it looks like this, and I'm going to copy this paragraph about a few times, 2 more times, paste. So it looks like this. Make sure you have indentation of the proper with it. Remember now, you only have one row. Inside that row, you're going to have 3 columns. So this is the first column, right? I'm going to copy this column dash SM dash 4. All right, Control C, copy. I'm going to place my cursor after the div tag. Hit enter. I'm going to give it a space below it. So this is the second column, which is the center column, right? And then I want to give another space into it and Control V with it. So this gives it a third column in here as well. So I want you to stop the video at this time. If you like, stop the video. Make sure you have what I have up here with it before you move on. Again, let me explain. Here's your body tag. Nested inside it has a nested your first div tag, which is your container. Opening your container, closing your container. You have your row inside that first container. That first row is your first column. Your second one is going to, let me back this out, so this becomes the second column, which is this. Your third column is this. Note the way how it's indented in. Look at the class and its attribute name as well. So stop the video right now, put this aside, make sure your notes looks like this, and pause the video. Make sure you have what I have. Give you a second to do that. Okay, so I set this on autosave so I don't have to save it every time with it. But if you look at your screen, this is what it looks like right now. All right. So I gave it basically 3 columns in here. You agree? So does your screen look like this before we move forward? Very important. Now I'm going to modify the content a little bit so we have the same thing. Okay. So instead of saying column 1 because I copy and paste it, I'm going to do column 2. This is column 3. All right. And I'm going to change everywhere I replace the 2. I'm going to replace it with the 2. And here is the 3rd column. So this is the column 3. I need to replace that with the 3. Okay. So save it, or however you want to do this. And I'm going to bring you back to your browser. And this is what it looks like. So do you have 3 columns that look like this at this time? Yes? Okay. So this is, let's talk about, this is 1 row. This is your row right here. You agree? Now, if I want something to, this is what we consider as the whole area is considered as a container. All right. So I want to put a on top of this, I want to put what's called a jumbotron as the class I'm about to share with you. So come up here to about this part right here. So this is this entire div right here has your row with 3 columns in there. All right. So I'm going to start another row on top of that. So I kind of did this in the reverse with it. You can do div. And I'm going to close that. I'm not going to close it. I need to use the class. I want to use what's called the Jumbotron text center. All right. Come to the right of that. Close that tag. Hit enter. And inside of that, H1. I want to open up the H1. And I'm going to say my first layout, or I should say my first Bootstrap layout. How's that? Layout. This is layout 2. Okay. So let's just let you know this is what's going to be in the Jumbotron with it. And let's just put a paragraph tag as a placeholder in this Jumbotron. I'm going to talk to you what a Jumbotron is with it. So this is kind of like a big banner, okay? So this is a little, in here if you have resize, I'll just say resize this page, resize this responsive page to see the effect. Okay, so that kind of gives you a layout what this thing looks like with it as well. So it's saved. I'm going to bring back the browser in here. This is my Chrome browser. So as you can see, this is my first row. This is my second row, right? My second row has what? Has 3 columns in here as well. So as you can see, you can do this right in here. Now, you can go in here however you want to do this. You could set this, and if you like your layout to be like this, that's fine. And you could do your layout like this, and the way how it's fine with it. You know, and this is the first layout with it. All right. If you, like I said, this is the second. I'm going to end the video right now. This concludes the whole project for the second layout with it. And this will conclude the second layout with it as well. You can go in here and put your navigation in here is my point. If you have different navigation, you can set it across here. This is up to you how much your content you have with it. So we talked about the first layout, the second layout. I want to talk about the third layout for you as well. It's all based on how much content you have. Okay. So I'm going to stop the video. Thank you.